Namaskar, I am Dr. Dheeraj Kapoor, Chief of Endocrinology at Artemis Hospitals in Gurugram. So today I'll be talking about the various options that we have for treating diabetes and controlling blood sugars. Now suffice to say that treating diabetes is not the correct term. Treatment means that the disease goes away. No, that's not the case. At most, we can control the disease because it's not a bacterial illness that we give antibiotics and kill the bug. No. The disease is there to stay with us, and so we need to change the lifestyle. The medicines, well, the tablets and insulins are both available. Tablets are from a wide variety. The first and the foremost was which acted on the pancreas, our insulin factory, to synthesize more insulin. So that was the first, but the problem was that it used to cause low sugars. It still does. They are still the most prescribed drugs. They are wonderful if the patient is careful about the hypoglycemia. We call them sulfonylureas. Speaking on a broader way, certain drugs called miglinidides are the shorter actings, and you have them when you have food. So the risk of low sugars or hypoglycemia goes down, but it's not negated totally. There are drugs which control the sugars and do not cause hypoglycemia. What a wonderful thing. But the fact is that since they don't cause hypoglycemia, they are not as potent as the two drugs I've talked about. The first is metformin. It increases the efficacy or the efficiency of the insulin available in our body. The second are the glitazones. Now glitazones or the pioglitazone, that is one drug which again increases the insulin action in the body, but there's a price. It causes weight gain. And weight gain is the last thing we want in diabetes. However, this is also a very good drug in our context, and paradoxically, it works best in fat people. Then, as the science advanced, we got drugs which may inhibit or prevent the carbohydrate absorption from the intestine. Again, these will not cause low sugars. They are called the alpha glucosidase inhibitors, and they are available in our country. The side effects are excessive flatulence, so it can be sometimes embarrassing for people. Then came the DPP-4 inhibitors, again a wonderful class of drugs, and that really has revolutionized the treatment of diabetes. They can be used in all patients of type 2 diabetes, which is the adult variety of diabetes, and have really borne good results. Then came the newest kids off the block, what we call the SGLT2 inhibitors. What do? They pour out sugars from the urine, and they are the drugs which cause weight loss as well. Most oral drugs which control sugars either make you put on weight or are weight neutral. This is one drug, but then it is not that it is pouring out sugars to the urine. Let me eat whatever I want to. No, you can't do that. If you eat whatever comes to your mind, you will end up with high sugars, rest assured. With this drug, since obviously it's pouring out glucose of the urine, lots of urine, so you must have lots of fluid. And also, you must clean your private parts all the time when you go to the washroom to prevent fungal infection. The drugs I've alluded to, the SGLT2 inhibitors, they are also very useful in cardiac conditions, and in that situation, maybe the fluid restriction may need to be in place as advised by a cardiologist. Now coming to insulin, and the name scares on. Insulin was discovered in 1920s, and it's still going strong. There has to be a reason there. Insulin is the safest drug in pregnancy. There has to be a reason there. it is one of the safest medicine in diabetes, and it has no contraindication. All the medicines which I have mentioned have one contraindication or the other, but not insulin. But what's the problem? The problem is the myths that have been done by the public and laymen. It's very unfortunate, actually, very unfortunate. It is an injection, point well taken. But now there are syringes, there are pens with such minute needles, it just doesn't pain. Hypoglycemia, yes, it is possible, but it's much less dangerous than that caused by tablets. So if a patient comes to me, maybe 15 years of diabetes, I would say no. In this case, insulin will cause hypoglycemia or may cause hypoglycemia, tablets won't. But why? अरे बाबा, जब कोई चीज शुगर्स कंट्रोल ही नहीं कर रही है, वो लो कहां से कर देगी? लो तो वही करेगा जो शुगर्स कम करेगा. So 15-20 साल के बाद insulin has still its efficacy, the tablets have lost it. So a patient in its initial stages, tablets may cause hypoglycemia, more dangerous. In the later stages, tablets don't act. How will hypo happen? So this was in crux what I talked about the medications. There is one more injection called the GLP-1 analogs. I will not go into all that. It is an injectable form again. It again causes weight loss, but that should be slightly tough for you. But suffice to say that insulin and tablets form the bulk of treatment in diabetes, and it does help people in controlling sugars. Some medicines may cause weight loss, others may cause weight maintenance, and may not cause hypoglycemia as well.